Well, if you're planning to fly to the U.S. this summer, you might notice fewer flight options.
Visitors are even being told by their home countries to take their vacations and money elsewhere.
$21 billion has just vanished from America's balance sheet. March 2025 alone saw a 14% free fall in foreign visitors.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen. So I'm sure most of you have seen so many videos on your timeline of empty airports and people complaining that travel is no longer what it used to be. So in today's episode, you're going to be looking at a video that tries to explain why this trend is becoming common in American airports.
Right, guys, at this point you ask yourself, is this President Trump's fault? Is it because he's in office and the policies he passed, or was this a problem that was brewing under the water that is right now blowing up in everybody's faces? But before we talk too much, let's watch the video we just prepared for you, and then we come back and talk about it. Meanwhile, you can let us know what you think about this on the comment section. Also consider subscribing if it's your first time here. Let's watch and then we come back.
Turbulence in the relationship between Canada and the U.S. continues to drive down travel to the U.S.
When it comes for vacation, I think there's other places I would rather go.
The number of Canadians crossing the Canada-U.S. border has reached COVID-era lows.
10 major airlines just pulled out of the U.S., and nobody stopped them. International tourism is crashing. Airports are going dark. And Trump's critics? They're dead silent. But wait until you hear why this collapse is happening and who's quietly celebrating. Are we watching the U.S. become a no-go zone for global travelers? Let us know in the comments. Have you noticed fewer tourists or cut flight routes in your city? Summer 2025 was supposed to be the great comeback. But walk into any major U.S. airport today, and you'll feel it. Empty gates, fewer foreign accents. And then the bombshell. 10 international airlines have quietly pulled out of the U.S. in less than 12 months. The result? A stunning 35% drop in foreign arrivals. This isn't just a travel slump. It's a message. The world is saying, we're not coming. And it's not because they found somewhere better. It's because America no longer feels worth the hassle. 4 years ago, Iceland's Play Airlines offered $99 flights from Reykjavik to Boston. A symbol of cheap, cheerful access to the US in 2025? Gone. Every single Play Airlines route to America vanished overnight. No warning, no goodbye. That same year, travel from Northern Europe to the US dropped over 60%. Even seasoned analysts admit they've never seen Europeans turn their backs like this. But the data doesn't lie. 71% of Northern travelers now pick Canada or Japan over the US. Why? Trust is gone, and safety isn't guaranteed. When even Canada starts turning away, you know it's serious. Air Canada and WestJet slashed over 40% of US-bound flights in 2025, cutting routes to New York, Orlando, and Vegas. For the first time ever, Canadian domestic flights now outnumber US-bound ones. The reason? Canadians no longer feel safe bringing their families south. It's too chaotic, too expensive, one Ottawa mom told CBC. The US didn't lose money, it lost trust. Germany's Lufthansa didn't make a fuss. They just quietly removed decades-old US routes from their schedule. Frankfurt to Chicago? Gone. Frankfurt to Atlanta? Gone. Flights to Tokyo, Seoul, and Delhi, meanwhile, are booming. Why? Lufthansa's strategy chief said it clearly. It just doesn't make business sense anymore. Exchange rate volatility, endless fees, rising security risks. It's a checklist of red flags. When the pilot prefers Tokyo over Chicago, the decline is real. Should Trump have stepped in to stop this collapse? Or is this the result of years of bureaucratic neglect? Hit like, comment your take, and don't forget to subscribe. Air France used to treat New York flights as the gold standard. Now, they're cutting routes to Miami, Houston, and even the Big Apple. Instead, Tokyo and Singapore get the top-tier crews and aircraft. And why wouldn't they? French passengers now describe trips to America as exhausting. Long inspections, protests outside terminals, rude service. Load factor to the US? Down to 70%. A red alert in aviation. The dream of flying to America has become a risk calculation. Jetstar, Australia's budget pride completely pulled out of the US this year. Sydney to LA? Gone. Honolulu? Gone. And unlike other countries, Australians don't complain. They just quietly change course. The CEO blamed soaring US landing fees and humiliating customs experiences. One elderly couple recounted being interrogated for hours at LAX. That was their last US visit. When polite nations start walking away, you've already lost. This isn't just about foreign airlines. JetBlue, once hailed as America's friendly skies carrier, pulled out of 15 domestic airports, including Kansas City and Syracuse. Fuel costs up 41%, labor shortages, airport crime. Smaller cities are being cut off, and no one's filling the gap. A former pilot said it best. It feels like parts of America are just being left behind. United Airlines, once a staple of Midwest connectivity, slashed over 1,200 monthly flights in 2025. Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska, gone. Cities like Springfield, Illinois now have zero commercial service. These weren't luxury routes. They were lifelines to doctors, to colleges, to family. When United pulls out of the heartland, it stops being United. Small essential airlines like Contour and Silver were the last threads keeping rural towns connected. In June 2025, both pulled out of over 24 small cities. Missouri, Tennessee, Appalachia, cut off. No airports, no jobs out of state, no access to hospitals. The reason? The federal government quietly rolled back rural flight subsidies. Now entire towns have no way out. British Airways quietly slashed US routes, abandoning Baltimore and Newark, once key gateways. Singapore Airlines followed, suspending flights to Seattle and Houston. Both cited safety concerns, protests, unpredictable airport policies, and bottom lines that no longer added up. They're not leaving out of hate. They're leaving because America is no longer worth the risk. This isn't just about airlines. It's about a global retreat from what used to be the most visited nation on Earth. When trust breaks down and dignity disappears, even the most loyal travelers walk away. Trump warned about this in 2016, and now, under his second term, the skies are proving just how deep the damage already runs. But that's just the beginning.
Take a look at these graphs. It's really bleak. These graphs represent the numbers of Europeans traveling to the United States that the Financial Times has published. You can look at any country, and it is absolutely tanking. I mean, Denmark, Norway, Iceland, Scandinavia really doesn't want to come here. But, I mean, Germany and Spain and Austria and Sweden and the UK are not that far behind. Here are flights. As you can see, that the flights for anyone is kind of going down from a lot of places, but specifically for foreign flights into the U.S., it's tanking since Trump became president. And major airports are looking like we've gotten foreign visitors are just not even using them anymore. Look how much they've gone down by 10%. They're literally decimating. So Canadians are definitely not coming here either. I mean, but it's the whole world. Look at LAX. I mean, it's terrible.
Wow, why is it so empty? There's nobody here at security. It's on a Saturday afternoon. Well, I've never seen it this empty. Is tourism down? Can't tell.
So guys, welcome back. I do feel like right now most people are shying away from going to America because right now people are afraid that if you go to America you might be harassed or you might be detained by ICE regardless of whether or not you have proper documentation.
Right, and I think that everything that makes it worse is that right now people don't even have to rely on news to get word about what is happening. Right now social media is a quick dissemination of information, and And as soon as anything happens, people get the news on social media before they even get it on the news stations, right? So let's talk about the shift in global travel, right? Right now, there was a point in life where you'd ask people, where do you want to go? People would say America. There'd be even specific cities that people would mention. People would want to go to New York. People would want to go to Miami for different reasons, right? People would want to go to Las Vegas, to places like Los Angeles. But right now, those are the type of places that people are avoiding very strongly. Just the other day, we saw videos coming from the area of Los Angeles where, and I feel like these are the specific areas where people get a lot of tourism activities. But right now, people are shying away from these places because, for one, ICE was harassing people in Los Angeles, right? And as a tourist already, you're not even calling yourself an immigrant, but some of us might look like the immigrants that they're harassing. What is to say that if you visit these places, you won't end up with an accident that is not so accidental, you know?
Right.
Everybody wants to go to a place, visit, have fun, and then go back home.
Especially if you feel like you're welcomed in that space.
Right. But right now, tourists are choosing to visit other places. America is not on top of their list, you know. Like, people have options right now because of social media. There's more marketing that has been done of other places. People choose, if you can go to Bali, why do you have to struggle to go to America? If you can go to Switzerland, why do you struggle to go to America? If you can go to, there's a desert in Namibia people could go explore, or if people could go to Dubai, why should people go to America when there are certain laws and rules or actions that show that it's not safe in that country, you know?
Right, and we even had that there are some planes like the JetBlue and Air Canada that have cut back some of their flights from going to America, right? This is due to reduced demand of going to the country by tourists, you know. So I do understand why some of these airlines would cut back on their trips to America.
Right.
So the economy, I feel like the economy in both sides, America and the airlines they're experiencing, is majorly due to the policies that have been passed by the Trump administration.
Right, but guys, let's look at the history of industrialization, yeah? And then how business work is that a lot of companies will be fighting to flock in an area where it benefits them, in an area where they get much profit for, or returns for their investments, right? And the question you have to ask yourself right now is, if a company, let's say, chooses to operate in America, do they get the profit of or the value of their investment in that said areas? Right now, we've heard about certain areas where they're locking out local airlines, or they're closing down. Why? Because they feel like that business no longer benefits them. Because if you think about the prices of fuel and the profit that these airlines have to make, and the economic situation right now, if every American citizen is not comfortable, and a lot of them are complaining about the high cost of living, if someone is complaining about getting even the basic needs, fueling their car, buying eggs, just basic needs in life, do you think they're going to purchase a ticket to even have a local flight, leave alone an international flight? You know, it's becoming a problem. And I feel like, for the most part, the world used to admire America because of how progressive it was. Like, literally, catching flights in America became a normal thing. You feel like for somebody to move from state to state, even if it's 4 hours, instead of going by your own personal car, you choose to take a flight there. So in America, that became a regular thing. It became something that was very normal. In Africa, catching flights is considered
It's a luxury. Some
luxury.
people even die without having seen a plane in a day in their lives.
Right.
I do believe that even we have never boarded a plane. The best we have come close to seeing a plane is actually seeing a plane fly over us.
Right, or taking somebody to the airport. Why am I saying this? It's just because there was a point in life where America was so progressive, the economy was good, companies were flocking and fighting to operate in America, because I do believe even policies supported that. But if you ask me personally, I don't believe that the problem started with President Trump. I feel like this was a long it just was taking long to manifest itself, but it's not something that has started with President Trump. Let's just say it hit the boiling point with President Trump in office, but at the end of the day, oligarchs are in charge of our country, the 1%ers are in charge of our country, and I do believe that there's somebody who has a great say in economics, and there's somebody who has a great say in how things operate, be it political, be it on an economical level, be it on a social level. There are people who stand to gain when certain things happen. So you never know what this is laying the ground for. Maybe this turning point for America, definitely in future, but you don't know for what. Yeah. So I think that is like a situation of let's just wait and see where this goes, because if Canadians are refusing to go into America, and these two people, like these two nations, have a very long history where they sometimes, this has even led to intermarriages because they used to visit each other a lot.
So my biggest question is what next for America, because right now I do believe that to some degree this is kind of pulling back America, and my biggest question is what visions do the oligarchs have for America, or do they just want to create a monopoly where they'll control every system in America? Because I don't understand, because right now we do understand even in the airports there are certain planes that are not owned by only oligarchs. They are owned by business people who've come together and they've started a company together. So I do feel like they kind of want to kill some other businesses that are only just coming up. And will America recover from this in good time when they decide to revive the economy?
Right, guys, always remember that for someone who's leading, there's always a number two who's looking to overtake. So at this point, you ask yourself, with everything that is happening in America and every step that they're taking, moving backwards, what country is taking steps to ensure that they fill up the once glorious spot America had? And if those shifts happen, and we get a new country that becomes a superpower, that like let's say the whole world looks up to, what they do determines what the rest of the world are gonna do. You ask yourself, what country is this gonna be? But it's interesting to watch world politics and see how all these things unravel, right? For now, we just say it's like watching a movie in America right now. You're waiting for the next episode to see what is gonna happen. You never really know what to expect, much as you know a little bit of what to expect.
So guys, let us know what you think about this episode, and then also consider subscribing if you're new to our channel, and we'll see you on our next episode.